Hello and welcome to Perspectives on the Voice of America. I'm Ndiho. The concept of providing small loans or microfinancing at little or no interest to help people in developing countries work their way out of poverty is a growing phenomenon. The loans greatly benefit those trying to develop a small business but who have no collateral for a commercial loan. Some economists contend that microfinancing is particularly helpful for women who have to struggle against repressive social and economic conditions. VOA's Ndiho has that story.
In 2006, economist Muhammad Yunus of Bangladesh and the Grameen Bank that he founded won the Nobel Peace Prize for their efforts to create economic and social development from below. Yunus managed to translate his vision into practical action for the benefit of millions of people, not only in Bangladesh but also in other countries. 2006 Nobel Prize winner Muhammad Yunus.
Our core mission, all said and done, our core mission is to create ultimately a poverty-free world. That's what we are for. That's why we are talking so seriously about microcredit and reaching the poorest.
Across Africa, non-profit organizations are beginning to follow Muhammad Yunus's lead by investing in the poor. They are helping millions of people to make ends meet and feed their families. In some parts of Africa, women struggle against repressive social and economic conditions, and as a result, they cannot afford to save, borrow money, or start small businesses. In Buyobo, eastern Uganda, the situation is beginning to change for a small group of widows and young children orphaned by AIDS. They are getting help from a group in the United States outside of Washington, D.C., known as the Women's Microfinance Initiative. The group is helping the women in Buyobo by offering $50 to $150 loans to jumpstart small businesses. Individual members of Women's Microfinance Initiative use their own resources to start their non-profit company. Roblin Nairat is the group's president.
Microfinance is no big mystery. It's really providing microcredit to people so they can start businesses, generate income, stabilize themselves, and pull themselves out of poverty. I don't think there's enough charity in the world to solve the world's problems. What you really need to do is give people some tools to solve their own problems.
The Ugandan women use the small loans to make and sell clothes and to provide food and cold drinks to people along the road.
What can make more sense than to give somebody a way to help themselves? So we put together some capital. We went there in January and we issued the first loans.
World Bank studies indicate that women are more likely to use their loans and profits to benefit their families by investing in their businesses and using additional income to meet household needs. $50 may not be a lot of money for many people in developed countries, but to a widow in Buyobo village, it can make a big difference. Ndiho, VOA News.
Now, joining me in the studio to discuss more about microfinancing is VOA's Ndiho, who just did that report we just saw. Welcome to Perspectives, Paul.
Thank you for having me, Ndiho.
Thank you for doing that story. So first of all, tell us, how did these women find these women in Buyobo village?
Well, it's quite interesting. They started out through a church project. They had gone to Uganda, eastern Uganda, Buyobo village, where they were following up on a church project. So when they got there, they realized that there were a group of women widows who needed help. And by interacting with them, they told them what was going around in their lives. So they decided to start giving them small loans of $50 to $100.
Now, of course, this project just started there in January. What tangible impact has this made for these women there?
They started in January. They gave them some loans. They went back in March. They gave them some other loans. They are supposed to go back this July to give them some more loans. But it's amazing what that money has done to that small village in Buyobo. It has helped people in that small village to maybe to start small businesses. They've actually helped to empower these women to learn new skills, basic skills of just running and managing a small business.
Let me just cut you off briefly. Paul, how widespread is microfinancing in Africa compared to Asia?
It's a big deal. It's not only in Buyobo, Eastern Uganda. When you look across Africa, everywhere you go, there is microfinance. Everybody is investing into microfinance.
Thank you so much. Paul Ndiho, who did that story for us from VOA. That's it for today from us here at Perspectives. Until tomorrow, I'm Ndimyake Mwakaliele for the Voice of America.